everybody? This is Dave with No Chaser, and I just recently got done with the second infusion, which is the Ketamine Assisted Treatment. It's kind of funny that they use ketamine as a treatment for depression, because, you know, they always say that, like, why the long face? Because you're a horse, and ketamine's a horse tranquilizer. Ketamine jokes, folks! Anyways, no, and this is not, by the way, the way I am right now is not because of ketamine. I'm feeling totally normal. But my experience with it, I thought I would do this video to actually give you a more in-depth sort of like what it kind of felt like. I know it can tremendously vary with other people, but having done it 2 times now, one thing that's very novel about it is that it really feels like, you know, when I'm kind of go under, I guess you could say, like, so the way I do it is that I have like some sort of music that's in my ears. They have like a little system, but I actually also put on a sleep mask with my eyes open, like fully awake, kind of like as much as like an isolation sort of tank feeling you can get. They have like this 0 gravity chair there, so it's just like I'm comfy, but like also like up. Kind of horizontally, kind of like in the ultimate pose, like of someone who's being abducted by aliens. Like as you imagine someone being abducted by aliens, that's the way I look. Which I feel like I'm being abducted by aliens sometimes. But the thing is that what the therapy is really focusing on is it's trying to, like, you know, catapult a sort of a psychological breakthrough as far as you know, for some people the treatment can be helpful as far as like dealing with trauma, dealing with depression. When you find yourself in those moments when you just want to give up, you're so completely apathetic, you're supposed to, like, through this sort of ketamine assisted treatment, like when you have these experiences while you're doing the infusion, it's supposed to it's supposed to give you kind of like a sort of vantage point to think back to like when you had this kind of like awakening, you know, kind of like a sort of revelation where, like, at least the way I feel is that, you know, when I go in there, basically, I go in there, they administer it over the span of about 40 minutes, and I think about, you know, why do I drink? Or, like, why, you know, when I get so depressed and I feel like I just don't want to do anything with my life, like, what can I do in that moment? Because I've been in that moment many times, and, you know, like, as I was going through the experience, and as I started to get to this, like, disassociative state, I started to think that, you know, life will be okay. I kind of just started saying that as a mantra. And I know that normally, like, in my completely, like, depressed and sober mind, that I would just be like, well, that's bullshit. By the way, that's a cat, by the way. Ketamine. Anyways, but I feel like that, you know, when I'm in that place and not on ketamine, that I will be like, no, it won't be enough. It won't be enough, because I won't believe that. I won't believe that everything will be okay. And so I started to think to myself, it's like, well, this won't be helpful, because it's like, if I can't go through this infusion, I mean, if I want to do the infusion when I am in this depressed state, isn't that just the same thing as like what I've been doing with drinking? But it's not really like that, where I was talking with the doctor more so, and it's about trying to find yourself when you're in those, like, incredibly hopeless moments, or those impulsive moments as far as like drinking is concerned, where you feel like you're on the edge, and there's nothing that's going to stop you from drinking, or there's nothing that's going to stop you from just giving up completely on life and just calling into work, or just like sleeping the entire day away. Just in that moment, finding something within you. And, you know, we're talking in really like intangible things here, but trying to find something like that when I was under, you know, in the infusion, and thinking to myself of like, what can I conjure up in my mind when I'm in one of those really intense moments in real life? What can I think to? And so when I was in the infusion, you know, things were obviously very trippy, I guess you could say, but, you know, I was thinking back on my life, and I was thinking about how many times I've ran the same pattern and the same cycle over and over and over again. And I just thought to myself, I was like, how do you break this thing, man? Like, it just feels like I was just made to do this. Like, I was built to just be this, like, kind of this instant gratification, depressed person that is just too impulsive to, like, have a regular life. And life does not interest me enough. And, you know, as I was under the spell of the infusion, I was thinking that, you know, my life can improve, because it doesn't need to improve completely all at once. It just needs to improve in this one moment. And I know how hokey that may sound, but like if it can improve in just this one moment, what can you do? So like if you're stressed out and you're at work, like what can I do to improve this moment? Can I grin and bear it? You know, like a lot of this goes back to just like understanding mindfulness. It's like I want to drink right now. How can I improve this? Because nothing else in my life is interesting, or nothing else is calling to me except for drinking. How can I improve this, or how can I weather this storm? And really, you know, as of right now, as I was going under the infusion, I was thinking of mantras. I was thinking of things I could do. I was thinking of ways I could find strength to call other people. You know, as far as I further go on along this assisted treatment, I'm going to speak with like a therapist and actually work through some things to where I actually start building up like myself to actually go through with these actions of what I can undergo when I'm in these intense moments. I mean, I don't know, you know, by the way, not a doctor in case you haven't noticed. I don't know if this is exactly what the treatment was implemented for, but this is kind of like the regimen that was like created with me and my doctor and like in my psychiatrist, and this is what I'm kind of shooting for. And I feel like it's been helpful because I've even just recently, even just this very day, some difficult things going on, and you know, I'm thinking about trying to just stay in that moment and just stay in the now. And as much as I hate saying those words with my mouth right now because they sound so cliche, just really trying to be able to believe that. I think the biggest thing is to believe in the hope and finding a way to like really like believe and have faith that you don't need to be happy at this moment, but you can get through this and it will be all right. And if you can't drink right now, what are you going to do? And you know, I harken back to, you know, some people that are so disciplined. The reason they're so disciplined is that not doing a thing, like whether it's exercise or going to church or working like extra shifts, it's not an option in their head. That's how they're so disciplined. It's not even an option to not do the thing. And it's trying to create in my mind a way where it's like it's not even an option to be able to drink or to just, you know, completely give up on life. Life is worth it. I need to remember that, and I need to like continue on with this life for me. And you know, it's been working these ways through, and like as far as like being in the moment during that infusion, it's really, you know, you try to hold on because the thing is, it's like you feel it so much and these revelations seem so real and intense, but then when you kind of go back to normal, so to speak, it feels like they all start drifting away really quickly, kind of like a dream. And so it's trying to hold on to those things to where when you're not in the infusion, you can like apply them to your like actual real life. And that's what I've been trying to do. I try to think of it in this way as like barnacles on like a boat. Like when the boat goes under, like underwater, and I don't know what barnacles even are really, but the way they hold on to the boat. But then if you pull the boat out of the water, the barnacles are still there. Trying to like create these barnacles for like my recovery so that I can like hold on to these things and get through these tough moments that I've failed so many times that have led to relapse and, you know, close to suicide and everything like that. So I need my recovery barnacles, matey. Maybe the ketamine is doing something. I don't know. This seems crazy, but anyways, that's just an update about how this has been going. I'll come out with a video that's not about ketamine here soon. Hope you enjoy this. Hope this gives you some idea of what the experience may be like if you were thinking about that. Other than that, be well.